my mind.
We will keep this thing in its cage.
Derry's back, and it's bloodier, creepier, and even more cursed than before. The trailer for It, Welcome to Derry Episode 2 just dropped, and honestly, it looks like Pennywise is ready to remind everyone exactly why this town can never escape its nightmares. From new characters tied to the Hanlon legacy, to eerie flashbacks at Juniper Hill, and a terrifying glimpse of Pennywise rising from the flames, this trailer is packed with hidden clues and horrifying teases about what's coming next. Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. There's a lot to break down, a lot to theorize about, and a lot to be terrified of. So grab your flashlight, avoid the sewers, and let's dive deep into It, Welcome to Derry, Episode 2. Trailer breakdown and theories explained. Lily's nightmare or Pennywise's trick? The trailer kicks off right where Episode 1 left us. That shocking, gruesome ending where Phil, Teddy, and Susie were brutally killed, leaving Lily holding Susie's severed hand. That haunting line, "I saw something," echoes through the opening as Lily screams in pure terror. Then, in a sudden cut, she wakes up in bed gasping. Now the question is, did it really happen, or was it a nightmare? At first glance, it feels like she just dreamt it, but knowing Pennywise, it's definitely not that simple. Pennywise loves blurring the line between illusion and reality. My theory is, the massacre really did happen. Pennywise just wants Lily and the audience to doubt it. He's manipulating her into thinking it was all in her head. Classic Derry gaslighting. Then, Lily mutters, "No one's going to believe me." That line says everything about where her story is going. Flashbacks to Juniper Hill. The trailer briefly shows two doctors and a young girl sitting in a hospital room. It's most likely a flashback to Lily's time at Juniper Hill, the infamous asylum we've heard about before. This would have been after her father's death at the pickle jar factory, the same incident that branded her as Loony Lily. This glimpse gives us context for why no one will believe her about what happened at the Capitol Theater. She already has a history of mental instability. Pennywise is going to weaponize that trauma, making her question everything she sees and remembers. Juniper Hill has always been a major part of Derry's mythology. It's where Pennywise's influence feels strongest, feeding on the fears of the mentally fragile. So if Lily starts seeing visions connected to the asylum again, it's probably Pennywise tightening his psychological grip on her. A new losers club is forming. Next, we see Lily and Ronnie at school, joined by two new faces, new additions to their little group. After Teddy and Phil's deaths, it looks like this generation's losers club is being rebuilt. The first new character introduced is Will Hanlon, the son of Major Leroy Hanlon. Fans of It will immediately recognize that name. Will eventually become the father of Mike Hanlon from the original It movies. That's a brilliant connection to the wider universe. Will says there's a history of stuff like this happening in Derry. That's a direct reference to Pennywise's 27-year feeding cycle. It seems like Will is going to be the group's historian, the one who pieces together the town's dark past and maybe realizes that what's happening isn't random. Meanwhile, Ronnie's still struggling with the fact that her father, Hank, is being accused of kidnapping the missing kids. And Lily, well, everyone already thinks she's crazy. So Will could become the rational voice of the group, the one people might actually take seriously, especially since his father has authority in the Air Force.
Into the sewers again. The trailer shows the group entering the sewers, the classic Derry death trap. It's likely they're going down there because both Lily and Ronnie have heard voices coming through the pipes, first in Lily's bathroom, then in the Capitol Theater. They're following the sound, trying to understand what's lurking below. This is straight up Pennywise baiting them. The sewers are his hunting ground, his nest. But it also suggests the kids are starting to get proactive. They're trying to find answers instead of running from them. Marge's fate looks grim. Then comes a deeply unsettling shot. Marge bandage over her eye, crying as she says, "Is it going to happen again?" That's not a good sign. Marge might have survived something horrific, but it's clear Pennywise has her in his sights. She's terrified, and Pennywise feeds off fear like oxygen. Later in the trailer, there's a quick glimpse of her trapped somewhere, struggling to escape. It looks bad. Given how episode 1 didn't hold back on killing main characters, I wouldn't be surprised if Marge doesn't make it past episode 2. The neighbor watching. One of the creepiest shots is Lily standing outside her house while her neighbor waters his garden, just staring at her. No emotion, no blinking, just watching. That's a chilling detail. It's a reminder that Pennywise's influence spreads through Derry like a virus. He's always watching, through people, through reflections, through shadows. That neighbor might not even be human at that moment. It symbolizes the idea that in Derry, evil isn't just below the surface, it's everywhere. The police turn against Hank. Then we get a scene with 2 police officers sitting in their car. One of them says, "What do you think he did to them?" referring to Hank. Of course, they're talking about the missing kids, Teddy, Philip, and Susie. Hank was already blamed for the Maddie disappearance in episode 1, so this is just history repeating itself. Given the racial tensions of the 1960s setting, it's clear the police are using him as a scapegoat. Ronnie even says, "Are they really going to try and pin this on you?" And Hank replies calmly, "Everything will be okay." But we know it won't. The system in Derry is already poisoned. The trailer intercuts this with footage of the mutant baby that attacked the theater, Pennywise's monstrous illusion. Ronnie saw it firsthand, but since there's no physical evidence, no blood, no bodies, their story will sound insane to the authorities. It's Pennywise's perfect crime. Tennille's mind is being invaded. A new character named Tennille appears. He says, "They did something to me, went inside of my mind." Then someone replies, "We will keep this thing in its cage." That thing has to be Pennywise. Tennille might be another Derry resident suffering from Pennywise's psychic manipulation, or even someone with a connection to the meteorite fragments shown in the trailer. We see Lily, Marge, and Ronnie holding one of those fragments, glowing mysterious stones. They seem to believe these can contain Pennywise's power. This is where the show is getting cosmic. The meteorite fragments could be remnants of the same extraterrestrial force that birthed Pennywise, the Deadlights. If true, that means the kids are literally holding a weapon that can fight him. The military's dark mission. The trailer then shifts focus to Major Hanlon being summoned by General Shaw. Shaw says, "I've been looking for someone like you for a long time." Hanlon asks, "What exactly are we looking for?" Shaw replies, "Something that was buried in Derry a long time ago." He's obviously talking about those meteorite fragments. The military thinks they can use the stones as weapons, possibly to gain an advantage during the Cold War. But of course, messing with Pennywise's origins is a terrible idea. It's hinted that the Native American community were once the guardians of these fragments, protectors who kept Pennywise sealed away. By digging them up, the military might be accidentally setting him free again. That ties beautifully to Derry's history, a cycle of greed, ignorance, and destruction. Halloran's visions. Next, we see Halloran, the same character from the Shining universe, being told it's time. He has psychic abilities, and in this series, the military is exploiting that to locate the missing fragments. We see him witnessing bodies floating beneath the sewers, almost in a temple-like formation. He says he saw dead people, possibly including the children Pennywise has taken. This could be where the military plot intersects with the kid's story. Halloran might be the one who realizes the truth, that the real monster isn't human, and that Derry is cursed on a cosmic level. Juniper Hill and Ingrid. Another unsettling moment shows Ingrid, a nurse at Juniper Hill Asylum, saying, "Well, you know what they say about Derry, dear." Her presence suggests Lily's going to be sent back to the asylum, possibly against her will. Ingrid might dismiss Lily's experiences as delusion, but Pennywise could use her as another vessel. The line, "Nobody who dies here ever really dies here," is also repeated, implying that the victims aren't truly gone. Pennywise feeds on their fear and keeps their souls trapped in his realm. Major Hanlon's greatest fear. We see Major Hanlon haunted by a terrifying vision, his wife Charlotte lying dead in the sewers. She was part of the civil rights movement before they moved to Derry, and given the town's racist undertones, it's likely Pennywise is using that trauma against him. Pennywise doesn't just kill, he corrupts people from the inside out by forcing them to relive their deepest fears and guilts. Fire, smoke, and chaos. The final montage is pure nightmare fuel. Lily smashing pickle jars, symbolic of her father's death, a monstrous figure running through the woods, thick smoke engulfing the entire town, Derry completely under Pennywise's influence, and then the final moment. Pennywise steps out of the flames, smirking. "What's the matter? Seeing things?" he asks, before bursting into that bone-chilling laugh. Bill Skarsgard absolutely nails it. The menace, the madness, the glee. Theories for Episode 2. So, what could happen next? I think Episode 2 is going to merge the kids' story with the military subplot. The meteorite fragments are going to become the link, the object both groups are chasing for different reasons. Lily and her friends will try to use the stones to trap Pennywise. The military will want them as weapons. And Pennywise, he'll want them destroyed. Marge might die, Hank might get arrested, and Halloran could become the bridge between both worlds, realizing that Derry's curse is older and bigger than anyone imagined. By the end of Episode 2, we'll probably see the first direct confrontation between Lily's group and Pennywise, setting the stage for an all-out psychological war. Our nerdy thoughts. This trailer proves that It, Welcome to Derry isn't just a prequel. It's expanding the mythology of Pennywise in fascinating new ways. It's about trauma, history, and cycles of violence repeating themselves, both supernatural and human. The visuals look terrifying, the lore is deepening, and it feels like the show is about to dive headfirst into the cosmic horror that makes it so unique. So, what do you think will happen next? Will Lily survive? Will the military unleash something they can't control? And could these meteorite fragments be the key to finally stopping Pennywise? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're enjoying these breakdowns, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned, because Derry's secrets are only just beginning to unravel.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.